episode 40. Welcome to Shootin the Shibby. My name is Spencer.
Hey, I'm Bob.
And Brian is not near his mic. It's okay. We don't need to know who you are.
Take your time.
How are you boys doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Doing well, doing good.
I
forgot
to tell the thing.
Oh,
no.
Oh, now we
Brian
don't know
forgot
what to talk.
the thing.
Now we don't know what to talk about.
Do we ever know what we're talking about?
Who forgets things for this podcast? God.
Yeah, what a jerks.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed this podcast, there is no camera. If you're recorded, then if you're listening to a recording, just carry on.
Yeah, just continue. Literally nothing's changed.
Continue listening. If you're on Twitch,
sorry.
Thank you.
Apparently I resemble that remark.
You resemble that.
Resent.
You resemble.
No.
Saying resemble so much.
No. I resemble that remark.
In the sense that
I am ugly.
Realization.
I know this.
I'm ugly and I'm proud. Yes. Fantastic. No, you can't take it back. So I found the best Spotify playlist over the weekend.
Oh?
It has everything from like a little bit of ska to a little bit of punk rock, some of the Irish stuff, some of the alternative stuff.
I will have a playlist for you then too.
Fantastic. It's Spencer's top 100 songs that he listened to over the year.
I was literally about to say, was it Brian's top 100 playlist?
It's like they made it for me. It's amazing.
That's funny because that's actually one of the things I want to talk about today was the top
Spotify's?
Songs.
Yeah,
everyone's top Spotify.
I could do that because I was actually. You'll be surprised. I was surprised by some of mine.
Number 6 will make you want to fuck your dog.
Actually, I was like, it turns out I really like to listen to some depressing music sometimes. You want to know what it is? I guess like happy songs are fun. Quote of the century: happy songs are fun. But no, it's like happy music is like fun background music. But there's sometimes you just have that deep moment, man. You just gotta listen to something like that just brings out emotion. Although, because my number 2 song was "Far Away Boys" by Flocking Molly.
Okay.
Far away, but yeah, it's a song. It's actually my favorite song by them, just because it's such a it's just acoustic and it's just slow and simple. Like it's just a very. It sounds like a bonfire song because I think it's pretty much about like the trials and tribulations of Irish people during when they were building the railroads, which I always forget was a thing. So I always remember in history as the Japanese people that went through that aspect. But the song is it's very powerful and passionate, but also very simplistic. I don't know. I really enjoy that. But my number 1 was K Sarah, which is just like it's pretty much one of those lo-fi hip hop sort of sounding songs, and they use audio from vintage movies and whatnot. I didn't know that I listened to it that much, but apparently it's my number 1. Why? What do you guys got?
Interesting. Well, Brian had a pretty great one to bring up.
What for my my top 100? Yeah. So for my top 100, and now it just kicked out. Fantastic. But I know what my number 1 was because I looked up mine earlier. My number 1 was
I forget which one is my number 1.
I lost the name there for a second. What was the band? Supervillains. A band I don't think I listened to that much, but apparently they had my number 1 song. It was "Don't Be Afraid."
Really?
Yes.
That's your number 1. But
They were up there. My number 1 for me.
They were up there with me. I think it was political porn. Yes, 2 senators, 1 cup. I love that song.
That's fantastic.
My third song though, I can't tell you what the name is because it's in Japanese. But it's by Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. Are we allowed to play music?
I found them actually the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, for the first time I listened to them.
Are we allowed to play music over the? Right? Are we violating any copyrights? We're talking over it. It's anecdotal, right?
It shouldn't be too bad, and as long as we're like talking over it, it should be fine.
Yeah, because I feel like
play it for like 10 seconds.
What's the fun in having music if we're not like people don't know what it is, you know? But no, this song's great because I guess it's hard to it's totally not my cell phone against the mic.
When you're looking at it, it's on the right hand side. All right, I can get behind that.
Oh, dude, the bass line. It's kind of hard to hear, but it's like boom, 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 ba-doom, boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
It's also one of the Tokyo Ska Paradise songs I know because it has 3 characters in it or symbols.
3 kanjis, I believe.
Kanjis?
Is the term.
Cool. 3 Japanese language things.
I could be wrong with that. Don't quote me on the whole kanji thing.
Indeed. Citation needed. But yeah, since we were talking about Far Away Boys, I just thought
something interesting. I'm looking at mine now for my top artists and top songs.
I'm sorry. I just like this was my number 2.
I'm in the middle of saying something.
Now you know how I feel. It's not great.
Railroad.
Everybody, welcome to the Spencer podcast, where Spencer talks about himself.
Spencer the Spencer.
Shooting the Spencers. Wait, I don't like that. No.
I think
You know
Brian
what?
and I
Yeah,
can
let's
get
get
behind
behind that. Shoot the Spencers. Bob, just turn his mic off this podcast. That's what we'll do. No, something I found interesting about mine was for all my top artists, none of them had songs in my top songs. And all my top song people weren't in my top artists.
I'm sorry, you confused me with that statement. What did
So
you just say?
my top artists that I listen to,
Oh, I
number
never...
number one is Census Fail.
You can do top artists, too?
Yeah, it tells you.
Wow, they know so much
Go
about
to
me.
SpotifyRap.com.
For all the Spotify listeners, they don't sponsor us, but we like it.
Hey, our podcast is on Spotify.
It is on Spotify, so if you listen to us on there, hey, you already got it.
SpotifyRapture.com.
Spotify Wrapped.
Wrapped.
W-R-A.
It's rap,
Like
not
a
rapture.
present. Like a present.
Emo fuck.
How is a rapture emo? That's like
We're talking about
biblical.
wrapped, and you're like, oh, you mean when people die? No, we're talking about wrapped. Like
Well,
wrap
it's
it
not
up.
really that they're dying. They're being pulled from the heaven. It's just all the heathens that stay on the ground. So, fellow heathens, I'll see you at the rapture.
But
Anyway,
yeah,
Brian, what were
my
yours?
my top 5 artists were Census Fail, Streetland Manifesto, I Fight Dragons, Less Than Jake, and I don't know why Sum 41, because I feel like if anything, they were a band I don't really like to. You listen to them a lot? Okay, never mind. Well, that's why. I've kind of fallen out of Sum 41.
No, I listen to them a lot.
I've been listening to them.
I guess it's
I
fair
listen
to
them a
note
lot,
that
and then
you guys
oh
share
yeah,
the
fair to
account.
note the live studio attendee and myself share a Spotify account. I didn't know you were a Sum 41 fan,
into some 40 Light Espresso.
and I took her to a Sum 41 concert.
And that's where it was. So apparently I spelled it wrong because it's asking me about car insurance, credit cards, life insurance, Comcast, and cheap flights.
But yeah, so that was my top 5, and then my top 5 songs. Number 1 was "Don't Be Afraid," which is a supervillain song. Number 2 was "She," a cover of Green Day's "She," but this one's by the Mad Caddies, which
Because
is
it's just a way better version.
it is. It really, really is.
Also not a huge Green Day fan.
I like Green Day.
I
They
used to like...
I like 'em.
Green Billy Joe wrote "Broken World" by the Interrupters.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he had a hand writing that. So
That is a good
After
song.
listening to it, I'm like, wow, that I can easily hear this as a Green Day song.
Oh, man, you can't just log in with the app. I actually want to put my email in and stuff.
Just log in through Facebook if you're
And then-
connected.
They're not connected.
Number 3 was "Paper Moon" by Amanda Lee, who is known for doing anime openings in English, and her cover of "Paper Moon" is absolutely
I
fantastic.
just realized I'm probably not going to be able to do this because I'm on a family account, so I don't know what the email is.
Bum, bum,
Does
bum.
that mean that I would be able to see if I did have the email in the no, because I have to make my own account with. You guys do your thing. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Remember
Have
that
fun.
whole part.
So
about-
after I was interrupted for the 4th time trying to get through this,
now that I mentioned
how's
it,
that feel?
well, you know, Spencer just wants to keep talking about himself.
How's
It's
that
fine.
feel? Huh?
Fuck the two of us,
Great.
right?
I'm a narcissist.
Turn his mic off. And then number 4 was "Where Is My Time Stick?" apparently by Chase Long Beach.
Where is my time?
No idea what that one is.
It's a ska song, which again,
Oh
don't
boy.
really think. And I know she's not listening to it, but like I don't think I
Everyone's
listened to
favorite
it all that
drunk
much.
uncle is calling. Yay!
And the last one was "Get Up" by Churches.
Well, let's pause
Couldn't
this
get
for
through
a second.
1, 2. I couldn't do 2 songs in a row
Shut
without
up,
him
Brian.
interrupting me.
Hi, Kyle.
Welcome.
We have a caller.
Sucks.
Oh, hey, Kyle. What's happening?
Kyle's here now.
Nothing. What are you guys talking about this week? I'm excited to know. I can't even wait for the episode to post. I have to ask you.
Well, you
So-
can watch us live on Twitch.
Twitch.tv/shibby_chat.
You got it to work?
Yeah, well, no, we've always had Twitch work, and technically speaking, we're trying to push. We're plugging Twitch on the only website that we're streaming. So
Yes.
the only people that are hearing the plug are the ones already watching on Twitch. Fantastic, marketing 101.
Well, that's interesting. How's everybody doing? Have you guys gotten your holiday haircuts?
Not quite
I
yet.
need to get a haircut.
I got a haircut Saturday.
Oh, just one?
But so did I.
Nice.
I've recently realized that I am at the point where I can't get anything shorter than what I have on the top, or else I look like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. I can't.
That's
I can't. I shaved my head once and I looked like larva, so I can't do it anymore. It makes me
Job of
sad.
the hunt. I actually go for the bowling ball look is in. Actually, I have a
no,
friend.
it's not. Not for me. I look like I should be sleeping in a petri dish. It wasn't appealing.
I have a friend that's bald, and he has like old IDs where he had hair, and it looks like a toupee. Like he just looks so weird with hair to me. Although I always ask him, I was like, when you wash your face, when do you stop?
That's pretty good. That's like you see the royal family. There's one guy with a full head of hair, and the other guy looks like a thumb with buck teeth.
He looks like a foot.
Yeah, he does look like he looks like a worm. He looks like a worm. He looks like he should be sleeping in a petri dish. How about that?
He'll grow into a real boy.
You know what? I got into an interesting discussion with my family. Do you know, with the royal family, like if they get divorced, is there like royal alimony? Like, will she get like half the royal shit, or no? There's like a clause where she can't do shit, right?
They just doubly tax the English.
Didn't Diana get divorced?
No, Diana.
No.
Well, no, I know she died in the car accident, but I thought she also got divorced at one point.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about Princess Diana. I'm talking about a current thing, not something that happened 21 years ago.
Yes, but he's saying, did they get divorced?
She was part of the royal family.
Yeah, do they get divorced? Well, obviously, death separates them, Brian. Jeez.
No, no. I thought she got divorced before she listened to Dashboard Confessional.
She was just dying to get out of that relationship. Oh, Dash.
You guys, I called to be nice because it's near the holidays, and then you throw a Princess Diana joke at me.
It's been over 20 years, right? We're allowed to have a joke about it. Isn't that the golden rule?
Is that the?
Her death can have a beer now. It's fine.
Limitations on dead princess jokes?
Yeah, something like that. I joke about Pete.
Sorry, your princess is another hospital.
Oh.
Well, I just wanted to wish you guys Merry Christmas, and I hope that you guys have a good holiday in case I'm too drunk next Monday to call. I'm not drinking now, but I just want to make sure that you guys know that I wish you a happy holiday or whatever you guys celebrate, or as I put it on Facebook, a happy whatever doesn't offend you this holiday season.
There we go.
That sounds about right.
A happy insert here.
I'm offended that you think I'd get offended.
Do you guys all celebrate Christmas?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Good. I know Brian does.
You do.
No
I celebrate it in the
personal
sense that I enjoy presents and family and food and fun and alcohol.
Okay,
but
so you celebrate Christmas.
I don't know.
That's what it is.
Just say yes. Just say
I know
yes.
Brian
Jesus'
celebrates
birthday.
Do you think I'm over here like jumping for joy because it's Jesus' birthday? No, I don't give two shits about him. I like Christmas. I like my
for
family.
Jesus.
I know Brian does. No, I know
You're getting a
Brian
lump
does.
of
And he
coal.
has red hair and he's Irish, and there's no such thing as anyone that's Irish in any other religion but Christian. If I was
Catholic.
a betting man, I would have bet it all on him without even knowing.
I don't know.
boy.
I don't know the difference between. I don't follow any religion, so it's fine.
Happy holidays.
Oh, come on. Yeah, it's not a race. It's an ethnicity, I guess you could say, right?
Religion is not an ethnicity. No, it's just it's a theology.
That's something you can pick.
Oh gosh, people are so scared to say anything offensive nowadays. It's ridiculous.
No, I'm
It's
just
ridiculous.
trying to be factual this time, not unoffensive. But no.
No, it's not offensive, but you see more Jewish men with Asian women because they're finally excited to see a quiet woman. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
What? Where do you pull this stuff from?
Somebody got it. Somebody got it.
Did I completely?
Kyle's got yellow fever apparently.
All right, Kyle.
All right, guys.
All right. It's always such a pleasure talking, having
I
you.
miss Kyle. Come back on soon,
Did
dude.
anyone get it, or did it all go all over your head?
I got it. Tell him to come on soon.
It went over my head, but I did figure out something recently. I found out I might have been there for it, but I wasn't paying attention. I figured out why you're the Full Slice Podcast, because your last name spells pies back.
I had to tell him that.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Didn't we tell you guys that?
Yes.
I wasn't paying attention.
It was like one of the first things they said on the podcast.
I was still embarrassed about getting the wrong person.
Oh yeah, you guys are talking about Will Sasso, not Frank Sasso.
Frank
You
Sasso.
with your horrible plaid shorts.
They are
Plaid
stylish,
shorts and
sir.
Your awning haircut so the pigeons don't shit on your lips. Come on, man. What are you doing?
Excuse me, my hair flows in the wind.
God.
You're just jealous that you can't pull off hair.
Yeah, but it wasps in your stupidity. You just cemented your reputation. What are you doing? On
Well,
your
Kyle, it's always a pleasure.
Oh, fuck this. Get Kyle on. Fuck you. You can get off the podcast. I want Kyle on.
Fuck it.
Maybe next time Kyle won't forget a camera.
Oh.
What did he say?
I forgot to bring the camera to stream, so we are on Twitch. We just have a stock image of us with Brian that hand wrote in Microsoft Paint. Oops, just audio.
With the frowny face.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw that. Written with somebody's stubby finger on the fucking edit path on the fucking
Pretty much.
I made it in paint
All right,
in
guys,
3
you have a good
seconds.
holiday season. I hope everybody enjoys it. I mean that. So, you guys take care.
You too,
You
brother.
too, man.
buddy.
Take care.
From Shootin the Shibby to the
All right,
Full
guys.
Slice Podcast, you have a happy holiday too.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
I want him back on so
It's
bad.
always a
I
great
love
time
Kyle.
having Kyle jump on the podcast. I like having podcast friends.
Yeah, podcast buddies.
Yay.
Buddies who podcast with their other podcasts. I actually have
Podcast
another
pals.
podcast
Oh.
We
pals.
create a third podcast called Podcast Pals.
I was just going to say we could start a Facebook group chat called Podcast Pals.
So we can all circle jerk about our podcast.
Hey guys, you should listen to our pod. No, you should listen to our pod. No, you should listen to our pod.
I feel so pretentious trying to talk to people about our podcast too, because I was like, oh, I have a podcast. Like,
Want to know how
just look at me.
Want to know what my least favorite question is?
Oh, what's your podcast on?
Right there. No. What's your podcast about?
I just tell them like we literally talk about whatever comes to the mind. That's why the name is Shootin' the Shibby.
Anything we
because
feel like
just-
talking about.
I see. I try and avoid NPC stuff like
I mean
that.
this in the kindest way possible. I fucking hated that.
Oh, trust me, so did I.
What is that? Is that from something?
the Three Best Friends show, the intro, they would be like, you could listen to Matt,
was the only
Boomer,
one who was writing
and
anything.
Bob
Dude, this
talking
is why-
about whatever they feel like talking about.
I
And,
was
like,
the one who led everything, so
whatever guy you got to read it. I feel like they kind of just didn't give a
Reddit.
shit.
Reddit.
I know it got off
Really?
Reddit, but
That's actually kind of cool.
Record this.
I never ever really thought of the power of Reddit. I mean,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
dude, it's great. I love Reddit so much.
it seems like
it's the
it
best.
seems like what 4chan was probably trying to be when it originally started.
4chan got a little too cancery for my taste.
No,
And
I
there
know. I
just
feel
was
you.
a lot of things I just didn't want to end up seeing on there. There's a lot of cheese pizza at times, and I didn't feel like seeing that. So
Love me some
I
cheese
stayed
pizza.
I stayed far away from 4chan. Also, I didn't understand it at the time when I was younger, and I just didn't feel like getting into it.
I was sick of seeing the same gore threads
Yeah.
with the same gore pictures.
And I
'Cause,
feel
you know,
like
still went
all of
through
those
them.
reasons is why I've never seen 4chan in my life.
Oh, I loved 4chan.
See, my problem also with 4chan was just that I feel like a lot of the times people are being edgy just for the sake of being edgy instead
No
of actually
shit.
like. But I don't like that.
Well, then you don't belong on 4chan.
That's why I didn't go on.
Normies
I
get
simply
out.
just said. I literally just said I didn't go on this for this reason. Well, then you probably shouldn't be on it. I know that's why I said I don't go on it. Yeah, good. Don't.
This
It's
is
like,
pretty
what?
much an equivalent of an actual 4chan thread, just so you know.
Did you
But
guys ever see that Family Guy bit where I think Quagmire was like, "Yeah, I never want to get married," and Joe's like, "Good, don't." And he's like, "I know. I just said I didn't want to. Good, don't." I just said I never was going to. Good, don't. Joe, you're not changing my mind here at all. I'm never gonna get married. And I was like, that's kind of the
It's
conversation
not your
we
fault.
just had.
It's not your fault.
You're just like,
It's
don't
not
go
your
on.
fault.
I wasn't going to. I posted one thing on 4chan. I posted a sad React thread once, and that was it.
You would.
I didn't know what to do, and they were the funniest things I saw at the time. And he was like, "Here's how you do it," and then he showed me, and then I lost the thread. He goes, "Well, it's gone forever." I was like, "Great."
Pretty much, yeah. There's not much organization of 4chan. I, however, went to the first 4chan car show. There's 4chan/O is the automotive thread because I think A is I don't know, anus, but I went to the
I wouldn't be surprised.
so someone started they started. It was in New Jersey. It was a Sonic in New Jersey where it started, and they kind of like made a little list and like who would want to do this. And I was like, I would love to do this. And it turns out one person I saw there that I haven't seen in years. It was kind of awkward when we all first got there because I'm not gonna lie, the cars that came.
Internet.
The cars that came, it kind of looked like a Walmart parking lot. It really wasn't. There wasn't too many. I mean, there was a Corvette. There were some cool things. I had the flaming turd wall. It still had a roof. Because I mean, I definitely posted my car on the 4chan O just because I enjoy the shit posting. Like, yes, poop on my day. It's auto. I don't know. I guess
Shit on me.
It's pretty much emotional manichism.
Masochism.
Masochism. No, not mannequins. Yes, but we all got there, and we were just all expecting it to be like shitlords just calling each other like faggots and this and that, and like just having these trolley types. But we all get there, and we're like, wow, you're actually kind of cool. We're having a lot of fun. And then we end up all going back to my place for a pool party. I had 4chan. I could find the pictures to show you guys later. But yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. So 4chan played a role in my life.
Well, good for you.
Interesting.
Thanks.
I mean,
more back pats for me.
That's this is one of the things I really like about Reddit is just that like there's a lot of good that came out of it, and I joined, like we recently talked about last podcast, I joined the Secret Santa, which was really cool, and if anyone who missed that, I got like a miniature cornhole set.
Yes.
And it was a miniature cornhole set with the Texans logo on it, because I said I had a home bar and I like the Texans. So
that works.
They were like, cool, miniature thing. We tried playing it on here. Spencer threw it at my head. We had some good laughs.
I made a good dunk sound.
And the audio sounded amazing. By the way, I went back and listened to that episode because, who doesn't listen to their own podcast?
I'm not afraid to admit it. I listen to my own podcast and I laugh at my own jokes.
Oh, my
There,
God,
I said
yeah.
it.
Exactly.
I used to feel like such a narcissist because I did that. But I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm owning this.
I actually stopped listening to our own podcast because there would be so many times where one of you guys would be saying something and then I would say something and then I immediately said that in the podcast and I go, dear God, I'm just repeating my own words.
Yep.
I just stopped.
Well, that's how you know you're authentic.
Last week I was driving down to my girlfriend's house and I'm listening to the podcast and I was literally crying. I was laughing so hard at the point where you threw the beanbag and hit Brian in the face. Only because you could hear it perfectly by the microphone and it was hysterical.
Precisely.
That was my story.
No, but see, I just see back to 4chan. I just feel like I see them portrayed as like this powerful thing because you'll see like 4chan. They had the war on Shia LaBeouf where Shia LaBeouf was it started off with his "They will not destroy us" or "He will not divide us." That's what it was. Shia LaBeouf put up a camera in public and would stand around. And just like people would just walk up and just repeat like "He will not divide us" and "Peace and love," and then there'll be like some random person that comes out like and just takes off their jacket and they're dressed as a Nazi and they just do it to be edgy. Or there was another person that just ran up to the camera. She was just like, "Normies, get off my stream!" Read. She just read as long as her lungs would allow her to. I mean, it got to the point that Shia LaBeouf actually assaulted somebody. But so
he will not divide us, he says, as he punches someone for thinking differently.
Pretty much. It was pretty emotionally fueled. But later, what Shia did is he made a flag that said "We will not divide us," and then he just put it in some remote area. And 4chan found it. See, this is what
it's amazing how they find these things.
It's just this is what gets me about 4chan. So it's described as 4chan finding it, and given it was people on a thread that got together, they ended up using the constellations and the flight patterns in the stream to locate it. And the stream had audio, so they located a general area where it would be, and they drove a car around honking the horn. And then all of a sudden in the audio you started hearing honking. And then out of nowhere, one person went and got it. And he did it again with I forget, but long story short, I mean, in the early days, 4chan did one where Mountain Dew put up a contest about
naming the new Mountain Dew flavor.
Yes, naming the new Mountain Dew flavor. And so, but what Mountain Dew didn't do is they didn't have any vetting process. You could type whatever you want. Hey, you could type in what
don't.
No, you could type in whatever you want, and it would just be posted. And so long as people upvote it, it would stay up there. And so the number one flavor was Hitler did nothing wrong.
Number 2 was Gushing Granny.
Yes, it was.
Which is where we got the name for when we were messing with a friend of ours, because we found his OkCupid profile and we named the girl Gushing Granny. And she found some stock photo of an old lady by a barn and just said how we loved the young Jewish folks. And we went and found our friend on it. We answered.
That is a great story.
Almost all of his 170 compatibility questions on it.
I almost coughed my coffee.
And we found out I am probably the most compatible person with him.
Aw.
Him and I'd answered.
It's a shame you're engaged.
I answered.
So what are you doing later? You
I
want
answered
a pizza?
almost all of his questions correctly.
Oh, that's awesome.
We had our one friend doing it, and he got like every single one wrong. And then we had someone else who got some of them right. I'm like, here, let me try. I think I got almost every single one of them correct.
That's hilarious.
But the best was it was the question like, what are you going to do with your kids about Santa Claus? And since he's Jewish, he just wrote nothing because I go to the Jewish face. And for ours, we just wrote Jew and left it like that.
But so either way, like when I originally heard of 4chan, I heard of all these stories and whatnot. I went into it thinking that it's like this mastermind website where the internet comes together, but it's really if you don't understand what the concept of shitposting is, it's just like edgelord humor. In fact, I'm actually curious to go on 4chan nowadays because a lot of articles that I see pop up about people with edgy humor and whatnot, or like about people being outraged over somebody walking around doing this and that, I often remember the 4chan days and wonder how many people are just trolls that are just there to piss people off. I mean, and let's face it, no matter how you feel about it, this day and age, it's very easy to piss off anybody. So in my head, I'm just thinking to the old 4chan trolls, like this is their prime right now. So it almost makes you wonder how many times does someone get outraged on something that was actually just a troll thing? Like it's like, I mean, we'll even just go back to the Nazi example. Like someone just walks down just to be a dick, and then someone else sees it, and then it's on 5 different news outlets about how there's a Nazi overtake because one dude walked down the street with an armband to be edgy. Which, by the way, don't do that. That's just dumb. But
it's amazing to me also how many times I'll see a news story where they're like, "This is outbreaking," and then you realize it's like 3 people did something and that was it.
oh yeah,
It's amazing, and then people think it's like it's everywhere, but in reality, it's just not.
right. That's just it. A loss.
Yeah, Boston Massacre, one of the biggest of like tragedies in American history. They try to tell it was 5 people.
Yeah, but that one I get because it was just. It's not that one's not so much about the quantity of people. That one
It was more so that the government came in and shot people, or like the came in and shot people.
I was thinking the Boston bombing. Never mind. Carry on.
No, I'm talking about the Boston Massacre, like the old before, like revolutionary times,
Before the internet.
like when the British
Spencer,
came.
I was in the same page with you.
I thought you were talking about the Boston bombing, and
No,
I was like,
that's the
that was.
Boston bombing. I'm talking about the Boston Massacre,
Yes.
a part of American history.
I'm sorry. They were both massacres that happened in Boston. My B.
Well, I don't know what else was. Oh, never mind. It happened in Miami. Never mind. I can't. I was about to bring up a sports thing and be like, "You want to know what else was a Boston Massacre? What the Dolphins did to him on Sunday?" And then I realized it was in Miami, and it didn't make sense.
See, my
Nice try,
head. My head.
That was worth it.
My head went to a way different Florida tragedy, and I was about to give you a look like, ooh, like I don't know, but that.
But this is where we're the edgy podcast, Spencer.
No, but
No, I never said-
real talk for all of our sports fans out there. How cool was that Miami play they had against them?
I love the fact that you're pointing at the camera, like there's actually
He's
a
gotten
camera.
so used to.
I'm used to it.
You know, I'm proud of Brian because when we
Bob.
started, we're just like, oh, the camera, it's kind of awkward,
Right.
And now Brian's like, yeah, look at. Aw.
He made no, but no.
Camera's not here
I'm more proud
anymore.
of Brian because I'm the one that said, "I'm sorry, I'm all self-loathing, saying let's not even stream it on Twitch. We'll just record it." And Brian's like, "No, I'll make a funny little thing." And now he's getting all into the camera that's not there, but that's cool. It's like it's almost muscle memory for you. Like you're really into it.
But essentially, for all the people who don't know or don't sports that much, so Spencer,
Sup?
the Miami Dolphins were down 5 points, so they needed a touchdown, and they needed to go like 70 yards to score the touchdown.
That's where you crack at the Fumparooski.
It could have. They did a bunch of laterals. So what
Again,
happened? So
to
what
me, a
happened
fumble-
was the quarterback goes back, throws the ball. One guy gets it. He's running. Someone comes. He throws the ball behind him to one of the guys behind him. He gets the ball, starts running. But the thing in football is that if you're running, you can only
I know what running
throw-
is, Bob. You don't need to do the
You
motions
can
of
only
running.
throw the ball behind you. You
I know
can't throw ahead
that.
of you.
I know the basics of football. I was in marching band. I had to watch it for 4 years.
So they lateral it twice, then one guy has it, and he's running around dodging a bunch of people, but then he has some open space. So he's running down the field. No one's going to get him. Who's playing safety?
I really chose a bad day to lose the camera, to forget the camera.
The Patriots tight end, Rob Gronkowski, who's a freak of a man. He's like 6'5", like 280 pounds of pure
Pilgrims.
muscle. Like, he's a giant of a man. He's playing safety. Safeties
He
are
also
not supposed
is
to be that big.
So dumb.
He's also as dumb as a rock.
Yo soy fiesta.
He literally caught his 69th touchdown and refused to catch another one for a while because he wanted his touchdowns to stay at 69.
That's not dumb. That's respect. Also,
Fucking
nice.
hysterical.
And also, after the Jets
That's
coach at the
amazing.
time, Rex Ryan, was ousted for liking feet, he was in a press conference and tried to mention the word feet or foot as many times as he could. I think he got it to like 13 times in an interview.
That's how you own it. Because honestly,
That actually makes me like him.
He's like, we just got to get 1 foot ahead of those guys. Dude, it's step by step that we're doing, and we got to get our feet right. And
why does anyone care if he has a foot fetish?
But
defeat. I like that one. Why does
just to
anyone
fuck with them
care?
because they're big rivals. Like the Patriots and the
They
Jets
are
hate each
rivals.
other.
Oh, it was them fucking with the. Okay, never mind. I thought
Yeah.
it was like the news media outing him for.
No.
Like,
No, this was Rob Gronkowski just fucking with the Jets head coach, who was
The coach was fired for being a shit coach, but it was found out that he had a foot fetish.
while he was still the coach.
While he was still
The
coach.
Patriots were about to play the Jets. And then Rob Gronkowski, tight end for the Patriots, just kept making feet puns the entire time. And he was stone-faced the entire time, too. It was great.
I mean, to be
it was
fair,
really
does he
funny.
really know what an emotion is?
Party.
Yo soy fiesta.
Yo soy
he
fiesta.
wouldn't. He said that he screwed up a play that lost him a Super Bowl because his ankle hurt, and he was found in Vegas partying like a week later.
I mean, you could party with one ankle.
You can't dance around on a stage if your ankle hurt. If your ankle hurt that much,
That's the part between the leg and the
that
ankle.
you lost the Super Bowl because you're going to blame it on your ankle and you're going to go party up in Vegas the very next week. You're not making good publicity for yourself there.
Yeah,
Regardless,
but
long
I don't
story
thi- I
short,
don't think
running
he
back ran
cared.
to the end zone, scored the touchdown. It was a big hole to do, and what was great was that they put the "My Heart Will Go On" to it, and it made it that much better.
It's fantastic.
I love sports like major moments, and then they put the Selena scene on it. It's my favorite. Just seeing him cross the plane, he's like, "You're here. There's nothing to feel, and I know." I can't do it.
Right.
That was Bob's kindest way of saying, "Dear God, you suck."
I
also
said,
purposely like.
I
use that a lot.
definitely screwed up for getting the camera today because I was enjoying Bob pretty much pantomiming everything you were saying about sports for me. Whether it be running motions. It almost looked like you knew sign language, except I know you don't know sign language. So it was pretty much the Spanglish version of sign language.
This is for Spanglish.
So
So you wrote a celebrity deathmatch of Ben Stiller versus Adam Sandler.
I don't remember that
They
at all.
they were fighting each other in celebrity deathmatch, and one of the moments I just remember is Ben Stiller going, "This is for Spanglish," and he punches him, and he's like, "This is for Meet the Fuckers," and he punches them, and he goes, "This is for Spanglish again." They were going through all their bad movies, but they repeated Spanglish twice.
Meet the Fuckers was great.
I forgot the movie it was, but I just named a Ben Stiller movie.
Oh.
Off the top of my head.
Was Spanglish that bad? I remember it being a well-received movie.
I don't know.
I've never seen it.
I would have said Jack and Jill, but that episode came out before Jack and Jill was a thing.
Oh my god, that was such a garbage movie. I had to see that thing twice.
I didn't see it reach twin.
No, I had to see it twice because the person I went to go see it with, she fell asleep during the movie the first time.
And then she's like, "I missed an important plot."
I missed the whole movie, so we have to go back and see it.
Did they
So
fall
I
asleep again?
Fucking bought tickets a second time. To
You
see that
gave money
garbage
to that movie.
Damn, you are dedicated.
Twice.
Do I know the person you went with?
Yes, you do.
That sucks.
She fell asleep both times.
Did you get laid at least?
She fell asleep both times.
Well, no, I was kidding. You can't consent when you're asleep. No,
Wait, not during that.
You
Wait
know
a
what?
minute.
With that logic, you say, "Can't consent to seeing this movie. We're going home."
I should have.
I mean, if she fell asleep the first time, shouldn't that like give her the obvious like this
Yeah, not
movie
her.
sucks? No,
Not her.
All right, fair enough.
Maybe be
I don't-
like, "Hey, let's not go to the movies when you're tired, or wait till it comes out on DVD."
I don't
Yeah,
fall
no.
asleep in movies though.
Not this person.
In fact, the only movie that I've ever sat in and I couldn't stand because, like I said, three billboards outside of Arizona, whatever, Milwaukee. It was that was
Albuquerque.
no, it was Ebbing, Missouri. That's
Yes.
what is Ebbing, Missouri. That movie was
Mexico.
bad, but I at least stuck around for it. The only movie I was actually cringing in my seat and wanted to go home for. It's so easy to shit on her, and I'm not even trying to do it just because of everybody does, but it was an Amy Schumer movie. I forgot which one it was.
She sucks.
It was just so bad.
I hate her.
It was so bad. I even, like, I just... And the worst part is I was trying to think positively about it because like the cinematography was fantastic, the musical score matched everything, the actors did good at their roles. Like at no point did I think, wow, that's an actor. But the movie was just so bad. It's just so unfortunate when everything else is so perfect and somebody's career is dedicated to making someone else's art come true, and they do it, but the artist themselves sucks. It's like all for nothing. It's so easy to just watch a movie and be like, wow, this movie stinks, and then just whatever. But you don't think about all the time, effort, and energy, all the camera angles, the movements, this and that, and to go into it, the editing, the music, there's so much. And just for it to come out as a product that people suck. That's why I hate when people bag on the arts as like not real jobs or whatever. Like it is one of the riskiest jobs in the world. Like if you make something that sucks, you just sunk time, money, and effort into a lead sinker. That maybe it'll be like The Room, where it's like a critically loved thing like 30 years later because of how much it sucks.
Oh, it's such a good movie. I love The Room. I was gonna say 2 movies I ever walked out on. One was called All the King's Men, and I walked out on it when I was younger because we were trying to sneak into Jackass 2. And,
well, that's different.
we couldn't get into it, so we decided to see this movie called All the King's Men because it sounded cool. It was some movie that went way over my little tiny dumb head, so unfair to say I walked out of that movie, but I did. I would love to give that movie a second chance. I'll find it one day, give it a shot. The only other movie I walked out of, wouldn't say also hard to say I walked out of because I was thrown out.
What did you do?
I actually didn't do anything. It was the people behind me. But
Brian, it's not good to blame others.
no, it actually this is what happened was we went to go see this movie.
What happened was?
So we went to go see this movie called Fighting. I can't tell you who was in it. I can't tell you what it was about. All I remember was there was a guy who wanted to get into fighting. He got his ass kicked a bunch, trained with the guy. And then he was like, all right, I got you into this first fight. It's in like a restaurant or something. And he's fighting this guy in
this Fight Club?
In this restaurant or whatever.
Was it called The Fighter?
No.
Was
no,
it
The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg is
yeah.
a fantastic movie.
Okay.
It's in one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Never
I
saw
fucking love that movie. The Fighter's very good. This movie's just called Fighting. And I think it came out the same time. A movie called
spin-off?
Never Back Down was a movie. And that was actually good. That was another movie about fighting. That was actually very good. But this guy was in a restaurant. He was fighting someone else. And he got his ass handed to him the entire fight until he gets like a lucky push off the guy and his head falls into like a water fountain and knocks the guy out. And everyone's like, yo, you just whooped his ass. What? And I'm like, this movie fucking sucks.
He fell into a water fountain?
Yeah, like one of those like
Don't you
like
know
metal-
the water hazards in boxing? Come on.
it was like a water fountain on like the side, like the school water fountains, like those that stick out of the walls or whatever. Yeah, he fell into one of those that was in the restaurant or whatever, and he like knocked himself out.
Ew, what kind of restaurant has one of those little water fountains?
I don't know, dude.
Are you sure it wasn't like a mall cafeteria?
I don't remember, but I think it looked like
We
a
need
restaurant.
details.
But what happened was the people behind me were like hooting and hollering the entire time, and I was just
Have a good old hootenanny.
They're having a good old hootenanny, and I was getting fed up with them, but I was just like, oh. And then my friend next to me decided to say something
So what you're
about the
saying
movie.
is-
And he was just like, he like made fun of the character or whatever, and then somebody complained about the people behind us. So there was people walking up with flashlights, and then my friend said something, and the people in front of us were like, "Can you please stop talking?" And I was just like, and then the people with the flashlights were like, "Oh, that must be them," and decided to say like, "Come with us," and I was like, "Why?" And then I went down. Also, a bad point to point out, I was trying to be edgy as shit then, so I had a bandana with me that I wore around my neck. I don't know why. It was the first and only time I ever did it, but I was at a movie with a bandana on. And the guy's like, you're talking the whole movie. I was like, no, we weren't. It's the people behind us. And he's like, no, you were talking. And I was like, okay, well, I'm only like 20 minutes into this movie. Can I get my money back? And he was like, no, you already paid for it. And I was like, but you're kicking me out for something I didn't do. He goes, no, I know it was you. I was like, you walked in for 5 seconds and then saw my friend say one thing and thought it was us. And I promptly told him to go fuck himself and walked out.
So you started fighting.
I'm proud of you.
I should have been like, you know what? You and me right now. He whoops my ass until I push him into a water fountain, and then I tell him, woo, you just got your ass
See?
whooped, son.
That's a movie theater. They have those there. That makes sense now. Dude, what kind of CDS restaurant would have a water fountain in it? I don't know why. It just sounds gross.
It might have been a gym. I don't know. I just
Restaurant,
remember,
gym.
I remember it was like a hallway.
It's like a
and they were
taco
fighting.
stand in a gym. Yeah, restaurant. Totally.
It's a gym. There's a mariachi band there. There's a tree growing in the middle of it. They're actually climbing trees. It was a nature documentary. You're watching monkeys.
It was actually just Fern Gully.
It was actually a dream.
Robin Williams was there. It was great.
Yeah, I only ever walked out of one movie, and it was the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar: The Last Airbender movie.
Really? I thought that was critically acclaimed in bloody art house,
yes.
blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely. Fucking garbage movie.
It's actually, that movie's just called The Last Airbender because the movie Avatar came out a little bit before that.
That's right.
So they had to call it The Last Airbender so no
That's
one screwed it up with
fantastic.
the other movie Avatar because that was like a big hit. It's actually, I think it's... Is it still number one?
Oh.
I know it
grossing
beat
movie?
Titanic. I don't know if it's
Which was
still
James
number
Cameron's
one.
other movie.
Yeah,
So he has number 1 and 2, I think, right now.
I believe so.
Yeah, so you're talking about, you said
He's
M.
talking
Night-
about The Last Airbender, not Avatar: The Blue People.
You said M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, he did that. James Cameron did Avatar.
M. Night
last-
Shyamalan did The Last Airbender.
The
with
Last
Aang,
Airbender, which is also called Avatar.
or Ong, if you're in that
Oh yeah, they called it Aang.
fucking movie.
I am that person that would get those two mixed up. I could have
Exactly.
sworn M. Night
That's why they didn't call it Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Because I know M. Night Shyamalan's known for all of his what a twist. So like I thought,
Because he made The Sixth
Yeah,
Sense.
you
and thought
can't
that
make-
that was gonna be something he can ride off of the rest of his life.
From Mima Kelly. It
That's my
says
mother.
Spencer is forgetting the camera, bailing on the arts.
Ooh, you're bailing on the arts there.
I don't. I'm actually confused by said question. Am I bailing on the
No,
art?
you
of
are
bringing...
bailing on the arts by not bringing the camera.
Well, it was an accident, which makes it even more artistic because sometimes the best art happens by accident.
Well,
so
see, my art happened.
this is
You're an accident.
I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say it.
I actually confirm with my parents that I am not. Because I even said at this point, it's like, I'm already born, living, and enjoying life. So even if I was an accident, thanks. But was I an accident? And they said no.
Was I an oopsie poopsie?
Was I a whoopsie doodle? But no, what this is experimental. What we're doing right now, so it's even more artistic.
I was my parents'
Mama Kelly.
third.
Thank you very much.
I was my parents' third attempt at trying to have a girl.
Wow, what a your disappointment. I'll have you. My little brother, when they were attempted, they couldn't.
Side note: cue my mom saying, "No, you're not an accident, Brian. You're fantastic, and we love you in every way."
Yeah, we get it. Your mom will always be.
He hasn't said anything yet.
I give her time.
Your mom is always.
I love
wholesome.
you, mom. You're great.
Your mom is always wholesome about it. I'll never forget going to your house and playing video games, and your mom just like rooting for you to beat like whatever level you're on. It was the cutest thing I've ever
Because
seen.
I'm great.
See, my parents were like, "Why are you playing video games?
What are you doing? I want to watch TV.
Why are you playing video games?
I want to watch Travel Channel.
Here's more video games for Christmas. Why are you playing video games?" That's what my parents did.
Are your parents my parents?
Pyro with me.
I think our parents were pretty much the standard. Because then that's what got me into thinking cosplay was dumb, and I'm above that.
My parents loved me.
My parents loved me, just not each other. So ha.
I haven't gotten a comment from her mother back yet, so.
She probably stopped listening. It's okay. What was I going
I
to
wouldn't
say?
blame her. I'm sick of listening to Spencer.
Oh
too.
yes, I learned. Fuck you! As I start speaking again, I learned.
Ironically.
So my parents were trying to conceive my little brother, and they just weren't. They weren't. It just wasn't happening. But I wish to God that I could have a little brother so he could clean my room. Yes.
We have another comment. I think that came in.
Mom Kelly said you hate when people screw up the arts.
I'm the one speaking. The comments.
You're not. You don't have a mic.
So?
You're an ambient noise in the background. I mean, we appreciate you as a noise.
You're our favorite noise.
You're just white noise, you bitch. I wasn't actually saying that. I was making fun of
We
him.
love you, attendee.
I do appreciate the arts.
You're all right.
I appreciate, in fact, actually, you're pooping on Brian's art because Brian is the one that made the so intricate oops just audio. Everything else was Bethany at Shibby Shack. Or, wow, damn it, Bethany
No.
at Crafter's
Crafter's
Quest.
Quest.
No.
Yes.
Which, by the way, if you're
that
listening
is-
to this on iTunes or any of our other podcast locations, check us out on Instagram at Shibby Shack Official to see this beautiful work of art.
Rate
Indeed.
us with 5 stars and like our posts, please.
Yes.
Did you do that on Photoshop?
That was Paint.
Microsoft
It was you actually used Microsoft Paint. That
No, I
makes-
straight up just pulled up Paint because
That's fantastic.
opening up Photoshop would have taken a while. Because I
Well,
had
no, I
to
was just-
open up the cloud, Probably had to update it.
I didn't know it'd be more fun if you did it on Paint or if you used like a multi-million-dollar company of a program to just do that.
Well, paint comes up so much quicker.
Oh, of course, because it's just
fucking
Paint.
It's paint. And the thing I hate the most about Paint is that once you put something somewhere, you can't move it.
I hate that.
But it's Paint, so it's like,
Just do
suck it up.
Control Z and do it again.
Yeah, but that's a pain in the ass.
Well, then you better pay $100 a month for Photoshop.
I do. I already pay money every month for Photoshop. Which, by the way, that's still on your computer. Do you ever use it?
I don't think I've opened it once.
Cool. I got to figure out how to get that off your computer.
Why, you put it on a different one?
Yeah.
All right.
If I could.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't helped you pay for it or anything, so for sure. All yours, champ.
There's so many times I'm like, hey, I could do... Oh, never mind.
Hey, I want to. Oh. So, we never actually got a chance to finish the Spotify our top artists and top
Yeah, because
songs
Spencer
and things
interrupted
like that.
after every single song I picked.
Actually,
Then pick good songs.
I blame Kyle
do
for
pick good
throwing
songs.
us off the rails.
No, it was Spencer interrupted every song, and then Kyle interrupted the last song.
Hey, Bob, are the Interrupters on your top list?
It's called Spencer and the
I don't know.
Asshole Band.
So it gives you.
I would totally be part of a band. I would totally be the front man for a band surrounded by like physical assholes. That'd be fantastic.
Is the band called Tasteless Assholes, and you play terrible music?
fart noises.
I was actually going more with the literal. I would be standing and singing with a bunch of butts farting in mics.
That's what you singing sounds like anyway.
It's experimental. This is art. Your mom wouldn't understand.
So if you go to SpotifyWrapped.com and log in through Spotify and everything, hit puberty too while you're at it.
I thought you were banjo. Banjo.
It gives you. a
Spencer choked on his
list
water.
of like your
I
first
just got hooked on my coffee. I'm
and
sorry,
things
but
like that. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. And I started 2018. The first song that I listened to was "Ska Wars" by Capdown.
I don't know that song.
It's a good song. I like it. And the first artist I discovered was Thomas Rhett, who's a country artist.
Ew. No, you're allowed to enjoy things. I just don't enjoy them.
It's asking me, can I guess how many minutes I spent listening to Spotify this year?
Mine was 13,649.
5,819.
Step your game up, bro.
That's 219% more minutes than last year. For me, apparently.
Wow.
Mine was 100% more because I didn't listen to anything on Spotify last year.
My top artist was Royal Republic. I spent 17 hours listening to them. I don't really listen to Spotify that often.
Really? What do you usually use?
My own music.
I use YouTube a lot to like listen to some stuff.
So my top 5 artists are Royal Republic, Rancid, The Interrupters, Less Than Jake, and Martin O'Donnell, who did the Halo theme.
Less Than Jake was also in mine.
My top songs are Time Bomb, Everything Went Numb, The Impression That I Get, The Science of Selling Yourself Short, and All My Best Friends Are Metalheads.
All very good songs.
And my top genres are punk, rock, reggae, indie, and pop.
I guess because ska's not really a genre on Spotify, I think.
Yeah.
They just call that punk, I think.
Yeah.
Which
then
is unfortunate.
My top 100 songs are on Spotify as well. And my oldest song that I listened to was the Rolling Stones.
I think mine was Night Moves.
So I got into mine. I apparently get my money's worth. I spent 62,443 minutes listening to Spotify.
Also, side note, my number one podcast I listen to on Spotify.
Shootin' the Shibby?
Shootin' the Shibby!
I spent 53 hours with Real Big Fish. That's given. I saved all their albums, so it was just like, I don't know, the charts. This is fun though.
What was my oldest song again? I'm trying to look up mine. Oh, mine was Twist and Shout by the Beatles.
Ooh.
You listen to that often?
No, it was the oldest song I have.
Oh, as in like the oldest in like when it was produced.
Like the oldest song, it was 1963. It was Twist and Shout.
You guys,
That's interesting.
You guys just swiping down this and it.
Yeah, you can swipe down it. I'm pretty sure we both probably listened to it because I like that song. Shake it on, baby, now. Shake it on, baby.
I don't know. It's not a bad song, but it's leaning towards.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off made that so great for me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those songs. Like it's getting like one of my least favorite songs of all time is the Celebration song. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Oh, it's because like I played that in bands. I was played at like every like celebratory thing ever. Because as we all, Bob and I know, as working in radio, especially in college, we had to play stuff like that for any sort of like celebratory thing.
It's such an annoying song. I'm sick of that song. I'm sick of Summer Lovin'. I'm sick of pretty much anything by Meatloaf.
You like Meatloaf?
Summer Lovin', eating my ass. Yeah, I hate that song.
Meatloaf is delicious.
We had Meatloaf for dinner.
We did for family dinner.
Cool. We ate him, so he can't do music.
But you don't like Paradise by the Dashboard Light?
Fuck no, I hate that song so much. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Especially, you know what?
Stop
'Cause
right
I used to be like I used to go to karaoke like every week, and there's always there's always one fucking normie that would sing that song every time.
Oh well, that's fair. Then someone ruined it for you. It's not so much a bad song. I think someone just ruined it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. These are all just songs I hear someone like and then shit. Of course, I can't think of them because I blocked them out of my head. But
what's in your hair?
No, the Cranberries are good. I can dig the Cranberries.
I thought that was a Bad Wolf song.
I thought you were going to go more with the Ryder joke because we bleed Cranberry. No, I was going. I don't know, pretty much just all like your Sweet 16 apartments.
That one, never mind. You know where I was going.
I'm staying quiet on that. Continue.
Oh no, go on.
No.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the Cranberries.
Yeah, thank you. That's
I like that.
Spencer picked it up. Thank you very much. That's why it's like it up low hanging fruit because it's the Cranberries.
But I don't know. Just all those the really poppy ones that you hear at every Sweet 16 and bar mitzvah, and just I don't know. I'm just so sick of anything by all the hits by Bon Jovi.
Get out of my house.
Bon Jovi sucks.
Get out of my
I
house.
said it. The truth has been said. Stop enjoying things.
No, he's good. I can understand why some people wouldn't like
You're
him because
saying
you're
that
from
'cause-
Jersey and he's shoved down your throat.
You're saying
Yes.
that because she's here.
No, I actually like Bon Jovi.
I actually used to like Bon Jovi, but then it was just like something I'll never forget.
That and Springsteen for me.
Town's idol.
He's every New Jersey town's idol.
Grew up in Sayreville.
No, Bon Jovi grew up in Sayreville.
I know, and everyone has a friend or knows somebody who knew Bon Jovi. And
I know his cousin.
I've heard the stories all. I
His
grew up in
cousin
this
Paul.
area.
Apparently his brother was an ass.
How would you ain't know? How do you know his brother would even be an ass? His brother might have just been like just blew past a fan, and suddenly somebody thinks he's an ass.
Well,
And then boom.
he was from her town, so
And went to
people
school with
with
my
it,
aunt.
yeah.
And went what?
Went to school with my aunt.
Neat. Did you?
That would
hang out with his
qualify
brother?
for knowing them.
I mean, did you hang out with the brother? What did he do in school?
He would just say how his brother was famous, so he deserved special treatment.
Oh yeah, it's kind of a dick move.
I can see that getting annoying. Yeah,
Yeah, my
Especially
brother's famous.
ride-
Give me free
riding
stuff.
on your brother's wave. That's fantastic. I was actually listening to Jack Black talk about like his children, and he's afraid that like because everybody. I mean, Jack Black's a pretty well known name, and he's like
I'd say it's a household name.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want his kids to have to grow, or he doesn't like the fact that his kids have to grow up with other people knowing, like, who his father or who the children's father is. I worded that terribly, but I hope they got that.
No, they grow up and they're not seen as them. They're seen as Jack Black's kid.
Right, and how many people actually want to hang out with the kids because of the kids' personalities, or how many people want to hang out with the kids to just like hang
You
out
could
with
be
Jack
like,
Black's
"Hey, your
kids,
dad's
or
Jack
even
Black."
meet Jack Black. You know, exactly. I guess that's a pretty common thing with just about any celebrity.
Well, I see that. Two of my kids are related to Bruce Springsteen, and all the other kids talk about is Bruce Springsteen and wanting to meet him and hang out with them and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
which-
fair. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen's a pretty big name. For those who didn't hear on the audio, the live studio attendee was talking about like two friends,
Two
like,
people that she knows.
Yeah, two people that she knows knowing Bruce Springsteen, and then everyone wants to know them because they know Bruce Springsteen. I don't know. I don't know. Bruce Springsteen's so annoying. I don't fucking get it.
Out of my
A lot of it though is
Dude, he's so really
a
him
lot of that
too?
is oversaturation though. A lot of it is oversaturation
Oh, no, I just think
because
this music is flat out garbage. Bon Jovi, I used
like
to
him.
enjoy.
Out of my house.
You better watch out. You better not cry.
see, I work for a prominent media company in the state, and we play everything
we do too.
Oh, I know.
Everything.
Well, my favorite part about the Bon
by both of them.
My favorite thing about Bruce
So
Springsteen.
I'm just overexposed, which is
And-
why I'm not a fan.
I mean, I like him. like him a lot. I like his music. I like Bon Jovi's music. I don't have anything really bad to say about them. Yeah, they do get overplayed a lot because we are in Jersey. So, they're going to be overplayed, but I'm not gonna fault the artist because of other, like, that's something I know I did a lot, definitely when I was younger, was I would fault artists or I'd fault people for stuff their fans would say.
I would fault
and
the
that's
stars.
not fair to really do to them.
I made a pun. Fault of Our Stars. I think the show's about
More
cancer.
of a reference,
Anyway,
not
continue.
really a pun. It was a book and then a movie.
Aha.
Leukemia?
Oh, that was a fun story. Okay,
So
we'll get to that
We'll tell that one after Brian.
Yeah, because I just realized you and I know what we're talking about. We just said on a podcast that leukemia was a fun story, so we'll get to that.
But no, I'm not gonna fault them because stations are gonna overplay them or anything like that. There are talented people who make good music.
I think Bruce is generic bullshit. I don't see. Listen, at the end of the day, everyone can enjoy what they want to enjoy. That's all fine and dandy. But me personally, I really just find Bruce's music just. I even without me even knowing who was, I can feel live studio attendees, those laser eyes on the side of my head without even looking. Even without knowing who Bruce was, it was almost like Muse. I'm not really a fan of Muse either.
I like Muse.
I don't mind them, but it's just like I would hear a song and change it, and later find out it was Muse. Same thing with Bruce Springsteen. I would hear a song, change it, and later find out it was Bruce.
There's a lot of music I definitely think that I like a lot, but I know there's because like a big people like Rancid. I know people aren't gonna like Rancid because of the guy's voice.
My little brother hates Time Bomb because that's all I played in the car with him.
Exactly. So you ruined Rancid for your brother.
That and Beck's Cyanide Girl, or Cyanide Girls technically, but yes.
I'm not huge in Beck. I don't care much for him.
I enjoy him.
I know he's a very talented person. I just don't really care much for him.
My favorite thing about Bruce though is with his Christmas song. For whatever reason, they kept all the live bits for the recorded one.
We were talking about this the other day that I remember I was walking around at my job and I just loved the beginning of Bruce Springsteen's Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
How's everyone doing?
We're just like,
Yes.
Fuck you.
You can't hear the audience really. So he's like, how's everyone doing? Have you kids been good? Oh, I don't think Santa's gonna like that. And it's like, what are you doing? Just get to the song already.
My favorite is just to have a conversation. How's everyone doing? Fuck you. Hope you were good this year. I put dog shit in my brother's backpack.
One of my favorites was Bruce Springsteen did he did do that.
I did actually do that.
One of my favorite bits was
Are you playing Pokemon Go? Are you that bored of this conversation?
Again, finish my fucking thought. God damn it.
Never mind. Keep playing Pokemon Go. Continue, Brian.
Done with this podcast already. One of my favorite. What's me today? Okay, so fuck you. Go back to playing Pokemon Go.
I only care.
Mute his mic and play your game so I can tell my fucking story. So I can leave this podcast already. So what I liked about was a Super Bowl where Bruce Springsteen was in it, and before he started, he was like, "Everyone, get ready." Grab the beers, but put down your chicken fingers because we're going to play a song. And I was like, what the hell is he talking about? I thought it was funny. I don't like my story anymore. Somebody else talk about something. I hate you both.
Cool. I went to a Bruce Springsteen concert.
No, your story's dumb and I hate you.
Half the time he talked about politics to the point that
Bob,
the drunk
did you see
guy...
the YouTube Rewind recently?
The drunk guy next to me actually yelled at Bruce to play music.
I like that.
Yeah. That's again. So it was. Sometimes when you see a band live or see someone perform live, you can get a new respect. What you said change the story, and I changed it, and then you tried talking over because you meant Bob changed the story because he didn't want to hear me speak. Whatever, fine. I am telling the story. Actually, the story's pretty much over. One tickets to a Bruce Springsteen concert. Went even though I didn't like him. Turns out his music sounds the same live, and he talks about politics half the time. That was also probably at this point at least a decade ago, so he might have changed. Probably not.
I feel like you and I should explain.
Now you're playing Pokemon Go? What the hell?
I said I was done.
I feel like you and I should explain why we laughed at leukemia. Just to cover, we do not think leukemia is funny. We think it is a very terrible affliction.
I didn't make the joke. They did, everyone.
We have a dark sense of humor on this podcast, but let us explain. What was the movie? Not a Day to Remember. A Walk to Remember.
A Walk to Remember,
Walk to
yes.
Remember. Okay.
You're getting your movies, songs, and books mixed up so much.
Well,
I love
Starring Will Sasso.
Do you remember that great movie, Careless Whisper?
Well, so the way it worked out, so Bob and I used to be in the pep band together, and the pep band and the dance team took the same band bus to what the MAC tournament where the basketball teams played and all.
It was up in Albany, New York, so we were a little stir crazy on the bus.
Indeed. So we had a charter bus, and on the way there, we got to choose the movie. On the way back, the dance team got to choose the movie. So we chose Team America, which, let me tell you, I've never seen a bus driver more happily mortified, because he was like having fun with it, but also just, and remember, because he can't see what's going on, he just hears the audio.
He hears everything.
Which, thinking back, that might be the best way to like watch or listen, whatever you want to call it. Team America.
Team
for the first
America,
time.
I think, is fine just listening to the audio.
Oh, absolutely. It might actually be better just using your imagination to think what's going on.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Well, on the ride back, the dance team chose A Walk to Remember. Now, the first time I saw it in high school, I actually was like, it was like, a little high school basement date thing where we just were sitting watching a movie.
Oh, this is a cute movie.
Yeah, it ended with me crying in her arms.
Loser.
Well, see, it's so funny
How
because
dare you have emotions?
I remembered it. Well, I think it's just funny because you usually think, you try to go for the move in the basement, your parents not home. But I ended up just crying.
Spencer's like, all right, now's the time to make my move. Everyone's like, oh, he's going to put his arm around her.
I'm not afraid to express myself, Brian. But so in my head, I just remember it being the super passionate movie. But just like I learned in all different art forms, it's not just the art itself; it's also the environment that you're witnessing the art. Whether it be looking at a urinal in a museum and having a plaque on it, or whether it be watching a very heartfelt movie with happy-go-lucky bandmates. So there's, the movie's been out for a while. Spoiler alert: somebody gets leukemia. If you didn't catch on, yeah, someone. It's like it pretty much.
Never watch it.
Forgive me if I forget the plot, but it's pretty much like two people start to like each other. One person gets leukemia. They like each other even more, then he dies. Something like that, right? She.
Yeah, the female lead gets leukemia.
She didn't like him at first.
Well, of course, it's a love story. Because it's like, I don't like you. You're weird. Oh, now I love you. Oh, no, I have leukemia.
He was
Dead.
like a cool kid.
Isn't that roughly the plot of Fault in Our Stars?
I mean, I really wouldn't know. But so in the middle,
Fault in Our Stars is they both have cancer instead of just one of them.
it's a twofer.
Double whammy. Double cancer midnight madness.
So at
So fucked up.
So at one point in the movie, it's
Hate
just like
myself
it's
for
just a
saying
very silent part. It's okay to have a dark sense of humor to cope with things. It's okay, Brian. But at one point in the movie, he just like admits like, I have leukemia, and here I am, and I'm actually.
AIDS.
This kind of is rough for me to admit, but I was kind of like purposely trying to hype myself up because I wanted to look like sentimental in front of all the hot dancers and whatnot. So I was getting ready to be like, yeah, I know what's coming. I'm gonna look so emotional, and so the guy, the lead, the female says, like, I have leukemia, and there's just silence on the bus, and there's silence in the movie, and then all you hear is. And I just remember turning, and I think it was you and Steve, right?
And Steve.
You and Steve were just holding back laughter, and I'm like, how are you laughing at this?
The best part is we weren't paying attention to the movie.
Really?
It had nothing to do with the movie.
I had no idea.
Him and I were watching something else. We had our
Horrible
headphones
timing.
on. We take off our headphones, and it's dead silence. And I look up, and you're sitting between the two seats, like, giving me a death stare. Like, oh my God, dude, that is so wrong. I'm like, what? You're like, you're laughing at the fact that she has leukemia. But I had no idea.
And you were awestruck because you didn't respond. See, this changes the entire story for me. This is my first time I'm hearing it, and that was what? That was 2011, 10?
2010, yeah.
Probably 2010.
Sweet, I was still in high school.
8 years ago.
Get out of here, child.
It's my house. Get out.
No. I'm squatting. Squatters' rights.
Yeah, that was my freshman year.
Sugar Bear, my house is being squatted in, and I'm in court now. And according to squatters' rights, the house is in his name, even though the deed's in mine. Well, there, Granny. I just had to squat in there to get some Get some
Sweet
big-
ass sugar smacks.
No, it's not sugar smacks. It's sugar crisps.
Oh, excuse me. Right. This is a podcast of details. Speaking of details,
Sugar bear.
yes, because I really thought, and it's so funny because that moment forward, I always watch that movie, and like now it's such a corny movie to me now. Like I watch it again, and it's just like
Oopsie poopsie.
the acting is meh at best, and like all the emotional parts seem forced over like.
Oh, here we go. Here's the best part. It's hysterical. I have leukemia.
Got him.
That was another Family Guy bit where
Yes.
Peter got high for a movie, and he's like, Tom Hanks. Oh, everything this guy says is a stitch. I have AIDS.
Yeah, that's Bohemian Rhapsody. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so from that point on, anytime we saw like leukemia, or I'd turn to Steve and be like, leukemia.
Yeah, no, we would just turn to each other and look and just stone faced be like, I have leukemia.
I still laugh at that.
I do too.
Why not?
I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely still laugh at
So
that.
speaking of cancerous things, have you guys seen the YouTube Rewind recently?
I've seen H3 react to the YouTube Rewind.
Man, was that just awful.
Dude, it
I haven't
started
seen the
with
video, but
I watched the entire thing.
It started with Will Smith.
It started with Will
Why
Smith
did it-
saying, if I could rewind, I'd bring back Fortnite, and then some YouTuber. I forgot their name.
I saw that part on Doctored. That seemed like a satire. Like that seemed like satirical of what it would be in the YouTube Rewind. Like they were making fun of it, and I was like, oh no, that's the actual YouTube Rewind.
And then what didn't make sense was, so they were talking about like Fortnite, so like a battle bus is going through the sky. And there's like a bunch of YouTubers on there. I don't know any of them.
There's
but then
Ninja.
Ninja's there.
He's on
Now-
Twitch.
Yeah, I get that he has a YouTube channel. He has 20 million subscribers.
Apparently
he gets
I
like a
have a-
million something views every video.
All right.
But it's all just stuff he takes from Twitch and puts on YouTube.
Well,
he's
Fun
known,
fact,
he's known for being a Twitch
I
guy.
may or may not have a connection to him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, look at you.
yeah, I know.
Hey,
we're only,
man,
we're
get
only
him on the
friends. We're only
podcast.
friends with you for your ninja connections.
dude, if you can
wasn't
get him,
popular until
if he wants to like leave his throne of like almighty internet hood and come into our basement and do a podcast with us, that'd be great.
Could you imagine the listeners we'd get just for that one episode?
Probably a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Ah, shit.
We'd have to ixnay on the Anticlaus say.
Ah, yes.
They're all going to know Santa's not real.
Hey man, I didn't find out till I was 12.
But the rewind was just weird. So they're all doing Fortnite stuff, and for a rewind, you want it to be diverse. But
Talk about everything
but
that happened.
Fortnite was like the entire thing.
Well,
Which was
Fortnite's
just
just
really
the entire internet
weird.
right now.
It was just really weird that they had a bunch of people on. They're like, oh, this person's a YouTuber, and they're YouTuber, and they're YouTuber, but they're all doing Fortnite dances or riding in shopping carts, because I think that's also a Fortnite thing. Shopping carts.
I don't know.
I've never played Fortnite.
Apparently, it's a Fortnite thing. I played Fortnite twice, and I won the second time.
Good for you. Proud of you.
I got my victory royale.
I can already
And
see your mom going, "Yay, Brian!"
I won because I had my lovely studio attendee here and two of our friends as witnesses.
Kiss ass.
I built a maze the entire time. I was waiting at the end of it, waiting for someone to come in, but then the circle was closing. Mm-hmm. And I already knew how to play the game because I played PUBG before. So I was like, I already got the premise of how this all works.
Right.
And then at the very end, there was two people who built these giant towers shooting rockets at each other. And I have an ordinary pump shotgun at the bottom, just sitting there watching them shooting missiles at their giant towers. One of them finally kills the other. Another guy comes down to repair his tower, but his back's turned. I just popped him and I won. That was the only shot and only kill I had the entire match.
I played a match of Left 4 Dead back in college, and for those that don't know, Left 4 Dead's like a zombie apocalypse.
Fantastic game.
It's a survival game. So you start at one end, and you just need to fight through the zombie horde to get to the other. But you're supposed to work with your teammates to get through.
You
things.
have to, because there will be special zombies who can take you out, and you need somebody else to help you. You physically cannot get them off you.
See, you say you have to. So when I played through it, I played as the sniper, which in reality, if you had a sniper on your team, would be fantastic. I pretty much played it in the guy that stayed in the back, just kind of picking off people while everyone else went gung-ho into it. And so I think it was Rain. I forgot the name of the level, but it was...
Heavy Rain, probably.
I think it was Heavy Rain, because it ends where you have to get onto a ship.
Yeah, that was the one where that was a special level because it was 5 chapters, and chapter 1, 2, and 3 were going to one place, and 4 and 5 was coming back
Gotcha.
from the place, which was different because whatever rations you took along the way, when you go back, those rations will be gone. So
That's
you have to
awesome. That's
see,
terrible.
That was
but
Left 4
that's
Dead 2.
awesome.
That was Left 4 Dead 2.
Yes, it was.
And it was really cool because like you go into a safe house and
Pills here.
normally there's always like 4 of everything, 1 for each person. But there's only like 6 or 7. And then so it was like, all right, take what you need now. And it was even on like, because there's always like wall writing for the games.
Right.
There was like wall writing like take only what you need. And it was kind of like hint because you're going to come back. And if you took stuff, it's going to be gone. So it was really, that was a really cool level.
Wow,
'Cause
that-
no
I
other
really
level
sucked.
did that. That was the only level that actually did that. It was really cool.
But so either way, we're right by the boat, and we get just hit with a horde of zombies and everything. Whatever. My one friend goes down. My other friend goes to save him, and he goes down. And then my other friend is just trying to fend off, and they go down. And they're like, "Spencer, save us!" And I run past all of their bodies right onto the ship, and I sail away, and I'm the only one that survived.
Well, yeah, in that case, yes, you don't have to save anyone. But I'm just saying, like, if you were sniping off on your own and they're all up there, you get pulled by a smoker or jumped by a hunter, you're dead.
Oh, that happened a few times, but they're team players, so they help me out.
Suckers.
Right? I'll teach them to trust me.
That's something we got to do as a stream one time. I want to show you guys my Left 4 Dead 2 mods I have.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. I
Zoidbergs.
want to see that game.
All of my
destroyed.
zombies are Zoidbergs. My entire team is Fry, Leela, Bender, and the Professor. My spitter's Kazooie. My charger is Donkey Kong. And I did a lot of Futurama things because the charge is Donkey Kong, but when he comes out, it's the song from Hell when Bender goes to hell.
Really?
When you
love that.
die, Perfect or Untitled by Simple Plan starts playing. So when you die, it just goes, "How could this happen to me? I made my mistake."
Oh my god.
And whenever I jump and I land on the ground, it's supposed
What's
to
all
make a
this
thud.
non-alcoholic shit in the fridge?
Oh, I bought a bunch of ginger ale, but
There's
it was
no actual ale and ginger ale. Fun fact.
fake. It was fake ginger ale. And it's
Fake news.
better than Schweppes, but not as good as Canada Dry.
Do a taste test next time.
We'll do a taste test eventually. But
Oh,
well,
sweet! I got more liquid poems.
I'm trying to remember what was this other. Oh, one cool
to
thing
last
was whenever I jump from a high ledge and like it's supposed to make a thud sound, it's iDub saying I'm gay.
Okay.
So every time I
I'm
jump, it's
gay.
just I'm gay. Every time I melee somebody, it's Jesse Pinkman saying bitch. But I'm not gonna say on stream what it is when zombies come out because I don't actually approve of it. But it was a South Park joke, and I just find it too funny.
Well, what's the round? You don't have to say the joke itself, but I'm just curious. For
It's-
anybody that knows South Park, what was the roundabout joke?
It's what's the teacher's name? Mr. Mackey?
Mr. Garrison.
Is it Mr. Garrison?
Mr. Garrison.
Yeah,
Mr. Garrison's
Yeah.
teacher? Yeah.
Yes.
So it's him ringing the triangle and says, "Uh-oh, class."
Oh.
Blank alert.
R-word
Blank alert.
R-word alert.
It's too funny not to have, I don't approve of that word in the slightest.
Dude, that's
but
why I just see before like major social media and everybody started finding out the humor and antics of other people. Like it was just fun to be able to say. We were discussing before. I miss being able to say certain words. I don't. I miss being able. I like. It's just. I hate the F word. Even though I think I said it earlier on the stream, but just in this context, I used to love just the F word that's derogatory for gay people. Mm-hmm. Or bundle of sticks. Well, that's just fag, but I said it. No, I don't know. I just because I never ever said it, and I would never like say it to any I wouldn't scream it across
Like
a
you
mall.
wouldn't call somebody that. You made
Oh,
fun
I
of it.
absolutely would, but it was all it was.
But not
it would be
not
like in my
to be
dorm
like,
room.
"Oh, you piece of S."
Right, it was just, "Oh, you
F-word.
nerd."
Yeah.
Like that's my new go-to. That's my only word I use now is nerd. You fucking nerd.
Right.
What are you like, anime? You nerd. What are you like, girls? You nerd. Like it's pretty much. That's pretty much yeah. It's pretty much the only word that I use in terms of everything else.
Oh, you need a bottle opener?
Well, yeah, did you want a beer? Is that what you're saying?
No, I wanted a ginger ale.
Ew.
I just wanted a ginger ale.
Yeah.
Bob, what did you learn today? Give me my fake ginger
We're done
ale.
already?
I learned that
I'm just getting started.
If only
that
we're streaming after
Brian now knows exactly what it feels like to be me on the podcast.
I suck.
this. Spencer does suck.
What did I learn? I learned I need to bring bottle openers. No, what did I? I can do keys ASMR. Good.
I can hear my my key ring and my my keychain.
You do have quite
Well,
a lot
it's
of
a little
keys.
better cold. I'll give it that. All right, Aldi's. You got pretty decent ginger
Look at
ale.
that. You're Mickey 13 class of. Look at
Mickey Mouse Club.
wowie zowie.
Spence, what did you learn?
What did I learn today?
Aftertaste still isn't great on this.
No, you don't think so?
No, the aftertaste is a little weird. It's good, and then like it stays in your mouth a little bit, and it's just kind of.
I can get you a ginger ale if you need, Bob.
I got it.
You got it. Good for you. What did I learn today? I learned I need to start preparing myself for the what did I learn today?
The podcast.
Pretty well. No, not just. I mean that.
I'm proud of you. You started prepping for the show. Now you just got to prep for the end of the show during the show.
Well, pretty much. Well, I also I didn't. I got hit with the what did we learn today? I was like habba. It's pretty much like when your English. We talked about it last week. Like when your English teacher says, "What did you get out of this?" and you just didn't actually get anything out of it besides the literal whatever you just read. The curtains are blue. What does that mean? That the curtains are colored in. I didn't do well in English. You can't leave me alone. The curtains were pigmented in blue.
I learned that for some people, leukemia is funny.
Actually, that is why I learned that Bob actually was not laughing at the part where she admits that she has leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that you were laughing at it because now I always see it as this corny, forced, emotional part in this movie.
No, because I remember Steve and I were watching Goldeneye, the James Bond movie, because our friend Val brought her computer and we were watching Goldeneye on her computer.
Right.
And it got to a funny part and him and I were just like and
why
now everyone thinks I was a piece of shit for laughing at.
No, we thought before that. Don't worry. Why did you like snicker though? Like, why did you hold back a full blown laughter?
It was a part of the movie that wasn't like like belly laugh funny because it's a fucking spy movie. It's not supposed to be.
But maybe
funny.
also he just wanted to be courteous on the bus. There's
Yeah.
other people. He didn't
Also,
wanna,
like,
He wanted to be courteous by laughing at leukemia.
Well, he didn't know.
He just said he didn't.
I know, but that's just so much better. He was trying to be courteous. Yeah, so that's what I learned today. I learned that you weren't actually laughing at that part.
Brian, what did you learn?
I said I learned that for some people, leukemia is pretty funny.
Yes.
No, actually, see, you learned the opposite. It wasn't actually funny because he wasn't laughing at that. Given it was a huge running joke for pretty much the rest of our college career, so then never mind. I learned that I learned things.
I'm proud of you.
I just blue screened.
Anyway, you've been listening to Shootin' the Shibby. Don't forget, like us on Facebook at Shibby Shack, Facebook.com/Shibby Shack. Follow us on Instagram at Shibby Shack Official. We're on iTunes. Give us 5 stars, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. We're also on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Player.fm, TuneIn Radio, shootintheshibby.podbean.com, and pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. That is exactly where we are 24/7. You can go back and listen to all of our online archives as well. Special thanks to Bethany over at Crafter's Quest for getting us our awesome logo that Brian decided to Microsoft Paint all over today.
It's pretty much the equivalent of shitty graffiti on top of like a mural.
Yes, like a penis in a bathroom stall.
Exactly.
That
Who the hell
happened to be
brings? Why do
painted
so
by
many
a-
people bring Sharpies into a bathroom stall?
I don't know. We'll discuss that next week. Special thanks to DJ Quads as well for making our awesome music too.
Dumpster writing, the word of the people.
Squidward smells good.
Also, make sure to like or follow and subscribe, maybe if you want to our Twitch account, twitch.tv/shibby_shack. Every now and then, BK, Spencer, myself, and other people who have access to our account, including the live studio attendee, will take turns streaming different games and things like that. We actually also stream every Monday night now after we do the live podcast on Twitch as well. Tonight, we have a very special surprise for you. It may or may not be the most popular thing out right now. It's brand new. It's the new Super Smash Brothers, and I cannot wait to show everyone in the world that's watching right now how awful I am at this game. But yeah, so for one final time, for Spencer,
Sup?
and Brian,
We're going to settle it in Smash.
I'm Bob. Thank you so much for listening to Shootin' the Shibby,
I have a friend that always sends me porn.
and we'll be back next week.